Yeah, I told right, like my son, had issues with anger issues and sleeping issues, eating issues, organizing skills, right? So I am not sure how do I handle because I told my personal story that we were in 2 years, we forcefully took him to the India. So I am not able to speak to him and, tell nicely, like, this is not the way you have to behave. But I don't know, that's little bothering me because I also took some, what was that, therapy classes for him. But recently he stopped coming, and today it was there at 4 o'clock and 3:30. He says that I am tired, I am sleeping, and I don't want to go today, and I don't want to go anytime further later also. So he doesn't want to go anymore going forward.
How old is he again?
He's just turned 18 last week.
16. Okay. And your husband is in India.
He is still in India. He was supposed to come from Abu Dhabi, and we canceled the flight because that true route was not good.
Yeah.
So he's going to come on April 7th.
God willing, and all no problems at the airports, right?
Yeah, he's coming through different route, London or something like that.
Okay, good. So
Mm.
you're upset with your son
Yeah,
because,
I'm not able to talk to him. What is his next plan, like college plan? Everybody is asking because he's a 12th grade now. He just says that I will go to community college this year, and second year I'll go to like UNCC. That
okay,
he tells firmly, but I should ask him like which community college, what course, when to apply. Nothing I am able to ask him. The moment I ask, he says, "Don't worry, he'll go away." He doesn't ask me, and I myself doesn't know where to check, what to check, and
okay,
things like that. So it's little bothering me so much.
okay. So we're completely in your son's business. He's 18 years old, and we're completely in your son's business, right? And this is the only time we suffer is when we're in somebody else's business. So, in hearing everything you said, the last thing I took in was I'm upset with my son because I'm unable to talk to him. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I am thinking to I should talk to him nicely and tell him, focus something, or what is your thinking, what is it's in what's in there in your mind so that we can talk what is our next steps, right?
Why
Um,
does it bother you that you can't talk or you feel you can? Well,
I
like,
can I can talk the moment I talk to those he will leave from that place. He doesn't answer.
okay.
He's
So,
hardly talking to me like 5 to 10 minutes in a day.
okay.
He just
So,
comes and hugs and says, love you, mummy. He says sometimes.
okay. So
Uh,
let's really look at this. You're upset because he won't talk to you, not because you can't talk to him. You're upset because he's not doing things your way. You're upset.
it's not he's talking, but I just want to see what is his next plan or something like that.
Why? Why do you feel you need to know that?
Because he is 18 and everybody is, going college and application. Even some friends of mine or whoever calls me and asks me, like, where he's going, what he's doing, what course he wants to join. So many questions, and I myself also doesn't know where is next step and things like that.
Okay, so just for a moment, I will be you, and you be one of the friends calling, and you have that conversation with me. Okay, so I'm you.
Okay.
Hello, so and so. How are you today?
How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
So, how is your son doing? How old is
You know, he's doing really well. He's at a point in his life where he's figuring his life out and finding his own way. And I'm so happy for him that he's doing that. I really don't feel the need to influence his decisions. I didn't like it when my parents tried to control me. And so I'm just letting him do his own thing now. And I'm confident when he needs help or if he has questions, he'll come to me when he's ready. I noticed in the past I was trying to force myself onto him and I was trying to force him to respond, and that just shut him out. It just turned him away. So now I'm happy, I'm content because I accept who he is and what he's doing. Now, what are you afraid of? If you said that to somebody asking you, even if it's a family member who asked you
Right.
that, what are you afraid would happen if you responded like that? My
No,
son
no. I
is
I
just like,
started responding little bit that, but other than that, it's in my head also, right? It's not only people asking.
of course.
It's also my head, like because he came around like afternoon 1 o'clock. Usually he goes to YMCA for work after school, but sometimes he doesn't go. Today, actually, he had a therapy appointment, so I asked him not to take. Then he said, fine. When he came at 1:30, I also said, we have 4 o'clock. Yeah, fine, we'll go. And I think around 3:15, he might be falling asleep. He did not sleep well in the throughout night yesterday. So he decided not to go and he went to sleep now. He did not wake up from 3 o'clock, and he wakes up around like 9 or 10 o'clock dinner time or late after dinner time.
I'm going to stop you, Sridevi. Everything is about him. Let's come back to you. When he's doing all of this, what's going on in you? Are you angry? Are you upset? Are you frustrated?
I am upset because he's changing his sleeping schedule, like right after school or right after work he
That's
sleeps, and
about
he
him.
wakes up at 10 o'clock and he doesn't sleep until 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. Whole night he'll be
That's
awake.
still about him. Come back to you. So, what's going on in you when he behaves like that? It's obviously behavior. It sounds like it's behavior you don't approve of. You don't like, you want him to be different. Let's keep it about you. I just said,
I am worried that because throughout night waking up and ruining this rhythm of sleeping, eating habits, right? It's not going to grow for mental wellness and physical wellness, right?
for
We all
you,
know that.
you mean you're losing sleep in the middle of the night or just he is?
He is right. He
Okay.
is every day. This is the pattern is going right after school or right after work. He will sleep. He will wake up at 10 o'clock. Throughout night, he'll be awake, and early in the morning he's sleeping, and then I have to wake him up for school. Then
No, you
some
don't. No, you don't. You don't have to wake him up for school. You choose to. If he sleeps and he misses school, that's on him. If he does it enough times, he'll get in trouble and he'll change that behavior or not. The challenge is for you to be okay with his life unfolding in a way that feels right for him rather than wanting him to be the way you think he should be, which is what's happening. I think my son should act and behave this way. And I can relate to this. I did it with my son until I realized I was completely in his business. And he's out of the house. He's in his 30s, no less. And I'm still trying to control him. And then I realized what I was doing. And I thought, it's his business, what he does. He has the consequences to answer to, whether they're good or bad or indifferent. It's his life. I have to stop trying to control it. No, not
I
stop.
know, but the other thing worrying is like keep coming that did I not raise correctly? Did
Oh,
I not tell his childhood, because all this has happening how you raised, right? So that is also bothering me. Like, what did I do different?
okay. So, so if I heard you correctly, you want to take on the blame for how your son is behaving. You feel you did something wrong, and this is why your son is behaving this way. So let's look at that. Okay, let's do inquiry on I didn't raise him right, or I must have done something wrong. Which one feels more strong to you? I must have done something wrong, or I didn't raise him right. And it's okay to get emotional because it is emotional. It's a strong belief you have. Are you taking me on a tour of your home?
No, I'm just getting my notes. Sorry.
Don't be sorry ever. You didn't do anything wrong.
No, no, I could have told you that time. Let me get my notes. Like,
Okay.
I
It's
was check.
all good. It's all good.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
So which one do you want to work on? I did not raise him right. Or wait, yeah, I didn't raise him right. Or I did something wrong. Which one feels stronger to you?
I think I did something wrong.
Okay. So can you find one specific moment with your son where that thought came up? Whether it's him sleeping in, whether it's him not being decisive about college and you believe he should be. This is all you believing he should be a certain way. And you're believing underneath that, I did something wrong. So find one moment, one of those situations in your mind's eye where you feel you did something wrong and now he's turned out like this.
I was not so strict, or I was little easygoing kind of thing.
I understand, but just find one moment where something your son is doing today is causing you to believe you did something wrong. It can be he didn't want to go see the counselor today. I must have done something wrong. He won't make a decision about college. I must have done something wrong. Find something, one of those situations or another situation where he is going against what you believe he should be doing, and you had this thought, I did something wrong.
Actually, when he was like a 10-year-old or 11-year-old, we go every year wellness checkup, right? So he was not sleeping. Um, he was sleeping late, and I feel like he was tired from school and little bit of any other issues. We were discussing with the doctor pediatrician, right? And then she suggested to give him melatonin,
Yeah,
uh, and
yeah.
also couple of things she said, turn off lights by 8 or something like that. And also she has suggested me to take it to the cognitive behavior therapy. Two reasons. At that time I went for one appointment. That appointment, the guy, that whoever counselor, he asked me to come, even the first session, come with my son and me. I don't know, I strongly feel he could discussed with me separately and with my son separately. In that one discussion itself, I was explaining him why we came up,
I'm
and my
gonna, I'm gonna,
son.
I'm gonna pause you, Sridevi, because you're into a big story. And that's okay. We just want to get to one point where I can
Yeah, one
facilitate
point,
you.
I
I
took
did.
one appointment session, and that did not work out. And after that, I did not try to get him on the CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, at the early age 10 years, due to
Okay,
some other reasons. Also, I was working in downtown.
just stop. Now you're going into more story again. Okay, so the moment in time, we all have stories. It's okay. But we just went one situation. So when he was 10 or 11, we went for a wellness check. It was suggested to get him into cognitive behavior therapy, and you didn't follow up on that. So in that moment, is it true you did something wrong? Yes or no?
Yes, I could have put
No,
more
no,
effort.
no, it's just a yes or no answer. Just yes or no. Yes or no. Now, close your eyes and be there in that moment. You didn't follow up with CBT. Can you absolutely know 100% for sure that you did something wrong by not following up with CBT? Can you know it for 100% sure? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So when you believe that you did something wrong in that situation, how do you react and what happens when you're believing that thought?
I could have given some importance.
No, that's an action item. How are you reacting? What's happening when you're believing this thought, I did something wrong? How are you treating your son
It.
when you believe you did something wrong? How are you treating your son when you believe that thought?
I just feel pity and upset myself.
Okay, so be there when he's 10 or 11, let's just say 10 years old, and you're in that wellness checkup and you don't follow through with the CBT recommendation. How are you treating your son when you believe the thought, I did something wrong? Are you treating him as fragile? Are you treating him as helpless, incapable of caring for himself? How are you treating him when you believe you did something wrong?
No, that time I did not think seriously, right? I I thought it will be okay, even without CBT, it was okay. That's why I left it out.
And that's your reasoning, but how, just stick with this. How do you react and what happens when you believe this thought today? You believe the thought, I did something wrong, and you're remembering that moment where you didn't follow up with CBT. So how do you react and what happens when you believe now, I did something wrong by not following up with CBT? How are you treating your son when you believe that thought, even if it's just in your mind?
I just feel that he might have had a, good behavior by now, taking care of early in the stage.
Okay, so that's sort of um, analyzing it. How are you treating yourself when you believe the thought, I did something wrong?
How I'm behaving with my son,
No, how are you treating yourself? When you believe I did something wrong, how are you treating yourself?
it just hurts me a lot.
So are you treating yourself like a bad person, like you're a bad person because you didn't follow through with CBT? Are you treating yourself as a victim?
I just feel like not a good mom.
Okay, so you treat yourself like you're not a good mom. And that's okay. I mean, we're just looking to see in that moment when we're believing that thought, those thoughts are going so fast. I did something wrong. I'm a bad mom. I'm a bad mom. I'm treating my son like this is today. You're reflecting I did something wrong when he was 10 because I didn't follow through with CBT. I'm treating my son like he's a baby, like he's helpless. I'm treating myself like I'm the knowledgeable one. Like I should have followed through with this and didn't, so that makes me bad. And I'm treating myself like a victim, sort of a poor me. Poor me, I didn't follow through. Hmm. Let me take a look at that. Let me sit with
So
it.
many things. Yeah.
Just, sit with it. Do any obsessions or addictions arise when I believe this thought I did something wrong? Yeah. I can't stop thinking about what my son should be doing today, what I think he should be doing today. I can't just relax. I can't just let him be himself and find his own way on this journey. I want to push him to do things the way I think he should be, the way his father thinks he should be. That's me just talking. What's your truth in this? What can't you do when you believe the thought you did something wrong? And this is something wrong towards your son.
Yeah.
So, what can't you do when you believe that thought? Can you relax? Can you stop thinking about it? Can you stop thinking about what he should and shouldn't be doing?
I can relax, but it's the thing, thoughts keep coming. Why is this happening this way, you know?
So, that's not relaxing. That's obsessive thinking.
Yeah, yeah, it's even on the meditation, nothing goes, it just,
Yeah,
um,
replays itself over and over. So you have so that's the obsession that arises. I have obsessive thoughts, and I can't. It's hard for me to let them go in that moment. And whose business is it what your son does with his life going forward?
his business.
Okay, it's his business. Okay, take that in. It's his business. It's his journey. And if he decides he doesn't want to go to college, that's his business. If he decides he wants to go, that's his business. We can't,
Uh,
we can't
Honestly, college thing is not bothering me much, but this
sleeping.
eating, sleeping, not organizing,
That could be
this,
depression. That could be depression. It could be an untreated depression. You have to explore other avenues there. There's
but
reasons. There's
how do
reasons.
we, how do I make him convince now, right? So,
Well,
okay, we,
you can't convince him. We can't force ourselves on another. One suggestion would be to make an appointment with a psychiatrist and let a psychiatrist evaluate him, because that's what a psychiatrist does, and they are the ones that, should he need to be on any kind of short-term medication, they would be the ones to prescribe it, not a general doctor. A general doctor is not a head doctor. They don't understand the brain.
but he has to agree for me to take to psychiatric appointment, right?
Well, I would invite him, say, love of my life, as your mother, I'm deeply concerned. And for my own satisfaction, for my own comfort, would you be willing to go to one psychiatric appointment for an evaluation? And let's see if maybe you have depression. Now, if you present it that way, you invite him and you say it is for your benefit, even though it will be for his. And it is for your benefit too, for your peace of mind, just to rule it out or rule it in. That's all. I'm not giving advice. This is just what I would do in that situation. So let's go back to, how do you react and what happens when you're believing this thought? I did something wrong. I didn't follow up with CBT. I'm a bad person. I did something wrong. I'm a bad mother. What do you feel in your body when you believe that thought? I did something wrong. I know you've
It
got,
just makes me upset and cry.
okay. And when you say upset, I saw you in tears. You feel tearful. What else? Do you feel a lump in your throat? Do you feel a tightness in your body? Is your scalp tight? Is your neck tight? What do you feel when you believe that thought, I did something wrong?
I just feel shaking kind of thing, nervous, right? That feeling.
What's your earliest memory in life of feeling like you did something wrong?
Um, I hurt my parents because we are from village, right? We are not so fond of arranged marriage, love marriage. with intercaste or different people.
Right.
So I got married to my husband, you know. So my son, my dad hurt so much.
So you married into a different caste.
Yeah.
Okay. Just one moment then. Let me write that down. So asking you what's your earliest memory of feeling like you did something wrong came to, I hurt my parents. Was there a moment in time where they told you that you hurt them?
Yeah, because they were not accepting, right? So my dad also like we were only two daughters, and my dad doesn't have his parents, so he cried, you know, not to marry like that.
Okay. So
Um,
stop right
but I
there.
did not listen.
Okay. So stop right there. So in that moment, when your dad is crying and asking you not to get married to your husband, what is reflected back to you about you in that moment? Please see it in your mind's eye, your father crying, asking you to not move forward with this marriage. What do you believe about yourself in that moment?
I was
I'm your father and I'm crying and I'm begging you, Sridevi, please do not marry this man. He is not in our caste. This will bring shame. You are my daughter, one of two. I love you so much. Please don't do this. It will bring shame, or whatever he says. Okay, so in that moment, what are you believing besides the fact I'm going to marry him anyhow? What are you believing about yourself when your father is crying and asking that of you? Do you believe you're
mm,
a good daughter, bad daughter? What do you believe about yourself in that moment?
I feel that I did something wrong.
Okay. And what else is reflected back to you about you? That's a statement, I did something wrong, but what's the belief you have about you in that moment in front of your father? Take your time. See what be there. However old you were, be there in that moment. Look at your father's face, see the tears. And what are you thinking about yourself in that moment relative to your dad asking you not to marry your husband? Like with your son, when I asked, I did something, when you believe you did something wrong, you said, I'm not a good mother. That's the belief you have around that with your son. So in that situation with your father, some belief
Um,
takes root.
I was same thing, you know. I'm not a good daughter. Um, I should have not, you know, because you know. Let me
Because
tell you.
no, 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 because that's going into story. Just stay there. So I'm not a good daughter. What else is with it? Anything else you start believing about yourself?
I should have not done this way, attaching, and you know.
Okay. So in the I'm not a good daughter, how old were you at that time?
I was around like 24 years old.
Okay. And it may have started even earlier than that, this kind of belief, but that I'm not enoughness of something. I'm not good enough. I'm not a good daughter. I'm not a good mother. You see, back at 24 years old, you had this belief of not being good in some way, comparing yourself to somebody else. How we can't have the thought, I'm not a good mother, unless we are comparing it to something else we believe how a mother should be. Who says how a mother should be? Who says how a daughter should be or a son should be? somebody that we believe is higher than us dictating our life to us. What happens to our choices in life? If we're allowing somebody else to dictate how we should or shouldn't be in life, or whether we're a good person or not a good person, that's in them. That's a reflection of something going on in them. That doesn't mean you are not a good mother. It doesn't mean you're not a good daughter. Of course, you are a good mother and a good daughter. Yes? Oh, you are. This is just some comparison somewhere along the line. Oh, she's a great mom. I wish I was more like her. Why? That's not who you are. It's not who I am. Hello, whoever joined us. Who joined us? Hi, Vani.
Yeah, hi.
Okay, I'm
Hi,
facil
Shalini.
Hi, I'm facilitating Sridevi right now on a belief I did something wrong. So just follow us along with us at the moment, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Sridevi, back to this. So early on in life, that belief took root and it just translated from good daughter to good mother, could even translate to good wife, to good friend, to anything. But it's that sense of I'm not enough. And it can only happen when we are comparing ourselves unconsciously or consciously to someone else. So let's move on in this. In what way has believing this thought, I did something wrong, served you? What has it done for you?
Um, Before 24-year-old, you are saying?
No, just this thought now, today,
Mhm.
relative to your son. I did something wrong because I didn't get him into the CBT. How is holding on to this thought, I did something wrong, serving you? There's something underneath that this is keeping alive.
At least now I should take some action. Maybe that time, I did not give so much importance. And now it is like went in a bigger, right? When I'm not taken care in the smaller time, it is now growing more big and big. So I need to
Let me
take
interrupt you
action.
again. So now you're still comparing yourself. I need to do more. I need to be better. You're perfect just the way you are. I promise. You are perfect the way you are. In serving, so it could be serving another, it is serving another belief underneath. I did something wrong. Again, it's serving to influence that belief of I'm not enough. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
doing enough. So you immediately said, oh, I'm going to do more because that belief is there. I'm not doing enough. I'm not enough. Is it true you're not enough? Is it true you're not enough? Can you absolutely know you are not enough as you are?
Yeah, I think that I should convince him to go to, this whatever you are suggesting. I was also thinking same. But how should I convince if I am not good enough to convince?
It's not about convincing, it's about inviting. Give someone the invitation. That's all it is. Sweetheart, I love you. And for both of our sakes, I'm inviting you to be open to going to and having this session and just let them diagnose or what, let them evaluate, not diagnose, let them evaluate whether something deeper is going on. And you just have to go one time. That will be enough for them to evaluate you.
Okay. So I should tell, like, invite him instead of convincing him.
Absolutely, with everybody. Let's just invite them because this is their life, their decision. I can't force them. If I try to influence them, I'm going to end up suffering because I'm going to get frustrated if they don't do what I want them to do. I'm going to get angry. I'm going to get frustrated because underneath that, I'm believing, oh, my idea is not. They don't think my idea is good enough. My son doesn't think what I have to say is important. Whatever comes up for us, again, it falls into that category of not enough. That's what happens every time. Oh, I'm not the greatest mother. He probably likes his friend's mother better. All kinds of stories get going there. But make it an invitation to anybody that we talk. We don't say, oh, you will go to the thing at Atlanta Pyramid on Saturday. You will go. I said you will go. No, we say, hey, would you love to go with me? I'm inviting you. Come with me on Saturday. It's going to be fun. There's a big difference than me saying, hey, Sridevi, you're going to go with me on Saturday because I know this is the right thing for you to do. And it's the best place for you to be right now in your life. What are you going to react when I say something like that? How are you going to react? Not going to like that, right? You're the, who the hell is she, right? Right? But if I say, hey, there's this great event happening, would you like to come with me? That's an invitation. We'll have so much fun there. They're going to have dance and meditation and singing and maybe food. Good. Sound good? And it starts at 9. No, it starts at 10 and it goes till 5, but we don't have to stay the whole day and we don't have to go at 10. What time would work for you? Now I'm asking you to make a decision. What time would work for you? And then you're going to tell me, I'd like to be there at 11. Great. It's about half an hour drive. Let's go at 10:30. Now it's you just made the decision, didn't you? I didn't force it on you. I invited. Now I ask the question, what time works for you? And I let you make that decision. So find a way to ask your son, make it an invitation. Hey, I've been thinking about this. Maybe, just maybe, you have some untreated depression. And a psychiatrist is the only person that can make that evaluation. They're the ones trained specifically for this, and it only takes one visit. Would you be open to going? Yeah. Okay, great. What day would work best for you? What time would work best for you? Now he's going to give you day and time, and he's making that commitment. I've been in sales a long time. And one of the things that I always did with clients, I was in real estate, I would say, this kitchen is so beautiful. Yes. Good. Everybody's nodding their head with me. Oh, look at this decoration. Wouldn't you love to have this? Yes. Beautiful, right? And they're all shaking their heads. Let's make this your house, right? Okay, let's sign here. Okay, and so you just help them to make their yeses in but not you pushing it on them. You can just say, we can find out. Maybe it's something deeper that we haven't uncovered yet, right? Head shaking. He's going to be like, yes, maybe, maybe he'll be like that. Wouldn't it be wonderful to feel better than you have been feeling? Yes. Wouldn't it be nice when you could just get a solid night of sleep and feel so rested the next morning, right? Yes, yes. I was going to say all these yeses. And it's not trickery or anything. It's helping him to make it his decision instead of your decision for his life. It's going to help him feel in control of his life. And 18 is still that delicate age. What were you doing at 18? You were making up your mind to marry your husband. You were making up your mind to disobey your father. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's no different. He's finding his way in life. For you, though, working on those beliefs that I'm not a good person, I'm not a good mother, I'm not a good friend, good wife, that's not true. And just questioning that, how do I react? What happens when I believe that? So now let's carry on. Who or what are you in that moment when you're thinking about that 10-year-old and you didn't send it for cognitive behavior therapy? Who are you without the thought that you did something wrong by not sending it? You never had that thought. You just decided, I'm not going to do that. Who are you without this other thought? You made that decision. You're fine in that moment, aren't you?
Yeah, I did everything I could, right? So I
Okay,
did.
there you go. You're fine. I'm a woman who's confident. I did everything I could. I did my best in that moment, right? You did your best.
Yeah, I did my best
That's right.
actually
That's right.
because I was raising him
No,
alone most of
yep,
the time.
yep.
So
No, because you did your best. Yeah, sit with that. You did your best. Yeah. And your
thank you.
best, your best, thank yourself. You're the one who did your best. It's all we can do in any moment is our best. And there's no such thing as perfection, only improvement. It's an ongoing process. We learn. You've learned from that. You've grown from that. You realized, well, you don't know for sure that CBT would have even been a solution. It would have just been one more thing to try and see if it was helpful or not. Not try, it was one more thing to explore to see if it helped or not. Again, if I'm not a doctor, I don't pretend to be a doctor, but I do know that sometimes untreated depression is not very visible to us non-doctor people. We're not trained on the brain. We don't know all the symptoms of underlying depression. Sleeping could be one of them. In fact, I know it is. But his schedule, I also know teens do stay up late at night, like really late at night, 2, 3, 4 in the morning, watching TikTok or whatever they watch. And so they are tired during the day. And then it's natural. I take naps too. If I don't have a good night of sleep, I take a nap during the day. And if I miss something, then I miss it and I have to be okay with it. That's a consequence of me taking a nap. I've missed some meetings that I really wanted to go to, and I'm like, oh, darn it. And then I'm like, okay, just let it go. Don't beat yourself up. And that's it. Don't beat yourself up here. You decided not to take him to CBT. Life goes on. Nobody died because of it. You did the absolute best you could in that moment, and everything is fine. There's no beating me up. I've already acknowledged I did the best I could. Am I going to beat myself up for doing the best I could? No, right? You're not going to beat yourself up for doing something that's your best. You didn't do anything wrong unless you tell yourself you did something wrong. And you didn't do, you just said, I did the best I could. Nothing wrong with that. That was the right thing. How do I know? Because it happened that way. There, end of story. There's no story there. Everything else is just stories that we tell ourselves. So now let's turn this around. I did something wrong. Let's turn it to the opposite. And the opposite could be I did something right or I didn't do something wrong. Which one do you want to work with?
I did something right.
Okay. So in that moment of the CBT moment, I did something right. What's one example of in that situation that you did something right?
I attempted first visit.
Okay. Can you find another example of how you did something right in that moment?
I was asking my neighbor, what she did, something similar age. So I was discussing with her, and she gave me some tips, and I tried to implement those.
So you asked for help.
Yeah.
Okay. Marvelous. You asked for help, you got it, and you tried those things. I,
Yes, I tried.
yeah. Pat yourself on the back. Seriously. You did
Beautiful.
you did something right. Okay. Um, let me see what other turnarounds could come out of that. We've got to the opposite to the self. Okay, so we're going to stick with I did something wrong, but this is to the self. So in that moment, what's one example of you did something wrong to you?
I was, I could have prioritized myself.
So you didn't
things.
so you didn't prioritize yourself.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so you did something wrong. I didn't prioritize myself. Can you find
Mhm.
another example in that situation? I did something wrong to me, to myself.
I I could have taken break from my work.
Okay, so that's not something that actually happened. You could phrase it, I didn't take a break from my work.
Mm,
Rather, because saying I could makes it in the future.
yeah, I
Okay.
did not take a break.
I see one here. May I offer it to you?
Yeah, sure.
So I did something wrong to myself when I beat myself up mentally, when I made myself wrong. That's how I did something wrong to myself. I criticized myself for not following through with CBT.
Yeah, I criticize myself so much.
So that's how you're doing something wrong to yourself. You're putting
Hmm.
yourself down, criticizing yourself, making a new story that's not even true. Can you see that? Criticizing ourselves is just absolutely putting ourselves down, making us wrong. Yeah, does that feel good? I did something wrong to myself. I'm harming myself with those thoughts.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, criticizing ourselves is so painful. Did you grow up in a household that was critical? Your parents were not critical?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes the criticism comes also from childhood. If we grow up around a lot of criticism, we tend to criticize ourselves and others. I did something wrong to myself. Can you see that? That's powerful.
Mm.
I made myself feel bad. I put myself down, criticize, 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 instead of build myself up, tell myself what a good person I am, what a good mother I am, what a good wife I am, what a good friend I am, what a good human being I am. And I'm always doing my best. And I don't even acknowledge that, even though intellectually I know I'm doing my best. I never say, Sridevi, you're doing your best. Instead, you say, whatever you say. I'm doing a bad job. I'm not a good mother. I'm not a whatever. Not. Take that word not out. Say, I am a wonderful person. I am a great mother. And, there's no rules for motherhood. We have our parents as our example. We have our culture as our example. We have friends as our example. Doesn't mean they're right. It just means they're sheep. They're just following generation after generation the rules that they grew up with. And most of the time, we don't even question them. We just do it because it's a habit with us, because that's all we knew growing up. Now it's a whole new opportunity to be a different kind of parent, to become one who invites their child rather than tells their child, and to someone who can relax knowing what I did at 18, my son is just doing the same thing. And you came out okay, and he'll come out okay, or maybe not. Either way, those will be his consequences, nothing to do with you. Whatever
Mm.
happens, you've already laid the foundation. Now he's at that age, he'll be making his choices. Maybe once in a while, he'll come to you for advice. Doesn't mean he'll accept it or follow it, but he'll ask, or maybe not. And you just learning to be okay with that, being okay with letting go a little bit and letting him be this young man that he is, finding his own way. He might find the love of his life tomorrow and get married in a few months, and then he's gone. You have absolutely no control over him then, and you don't really have control over him now. It's just an illusion, that we have control over him. What I strongly suggest, what I invite you to do is invite him. Make everything an invitation with him and wait for him to answer. Wait for him to say yes or no, and be okay with the no's. He might turn around and easily say, I changed my mind, I'd like to go. But it is that feeling when someone's trying to force you, that's when they get rebellious. That's when we get rebellious. When somebody tries to force you to do something, and we've had a conversation about your husband, when he tries to force you something, are you happy about that?
No.
Why not? Because he's trying to force you, right? But if he invited you, you'd probably have a different feeling about it and a different response to it. Yes, nobody likes to be told what they should or shouldn't do. We say, don't should on people. Don't should on people.
Making me so much relaxed now, actually. See,
Huh?
I can feel my cheeks and, all this relaxing little bit, so much pressure built while I was talking to you on my face.
Yeah. But you see your own answers here. You're harming yourself with those negative thoughts, that criticism of the self. It's just as easy to say loving, positive things to ourselves and asking another person rather than telling another person, oh, I'm so sorry. It's really loud. Holy smoke, I'm so sorry. Um, that just makes it easier for them and easier for you too when we invite someone. Even it works with everyone, even with your husband. Sweetheart, would you like this? Are you open to that? It's not telling him, let's go do this, let's go do that. He'll be much more receptive. Maybe, maybe not. You have to try it though. You have to
Yeah.
at least give it a go. I feel that with your son, it may work very well because he is at that delicate age. And I know I didn't do this with my son. I wish I could turn the clock back. I can't. But if I had given it more invitations, then because honestly, for me, I'm not saying this, but me constantly telling my son how to live his life, what he should do, what he's not doing right, I rarely praised him, is me being a bully. And I feel ashamed that I treated him that way. And now he's passed from this life. So I don't get to do that over with him. I can't correct it now. But you have an opportunity to change that with your son and to go on a different foot. Now, initially, he might be very wary, like, who is this woman? She's different. And that's okay. Rejoice in that because that means he's paying attention, he's listening, and he will hopefully start responding differently too. It's not going to be instant, it won't be overnight. Many opportunities will present themselves. Catch yourself. How can I phrase this into an invitation? How can I just, whether it's, would you be open to this? I invite you to that. Would you love to go with me? Are you willing to try? Those are all invitational statements.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Absolutely, you're welcome. So you did something right. You've already patted yourself on the back. Keep remembering that. Pat yourself on the back often because you do so many things. You do everything right because you're doing the best that you can at all times. So how could it not be right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've learned from your parents, your friends, your husband. That's their life. Get yours now. Give yourself that chance. Start building yourself up. I saw Sarisha's got they're getting ready to read the book by Wayne Dyer.
Mm-hmm.
When you believe it, you'll see it. And
Oh, yeah.
that's the
That's,
same with telling ourselves positive things about ourselves. When we really start to begin to believe, I am a great person, I do kind things, I do wonderful things, instead of dwelling, oh, I should have done that differently, oh, I could have done this instead. That's all negative talk and it doesn't make us feel good. It keeps us sad, it keeps us depressed, it keeps us feeling lonely inside. But when we start telling ourselves, then you begin to believe it. And when you find proof, you just found proof that you did something right. And you found proof that you did something wrong to yourself in the criticisms and stuff. And so now build yourself up. Any little thing you do during the day, tell you, so I did that so well. Instead of, oh, I could have done it better. I did a good job on that. Next time, maybe I'll do better. It's not a put down. You're simply acknowledging I did a good job on that report on my house cleaning today. I did as much as I felt like doing today, and that's enough. Oh, I could have done more. Oh, I should have done more. No, no, I did enough today. It's all I felt like doing. And that's okay. We don't have to push ourselves. We don't have to drive ourselves crazy and then put ourselves down because we believe we should have worked 20 hours out of 24 hours. Be okay with working 8 hours. That kind of thing. I mean, just normalize the everyday things instead of making I should have done better. I could have done more. We laugh about that here. My husband will say to me, you could do more today. I say, I know, but I'm not going to. It's just, I know I can push myself, and I used to do that. And there was no reward for any of that.
Yeah, some of the things I do learn from my son actually. I sometimes feel like after this meditation talks and meditation, whatever I'm learning now, he told me couple of years back itself, like
Interesting.
like 2 years, 3 years back. I first listened. It comes from him. Now it kind of maps me. Oh, I should have listened to Varun because that time I did not pay attention, or I might have thinking he's just a kid talking something, right? So not paid attention, but sometimes I feel like he's naive. He's a master for me actually.
He can be, however, be very mindful not to say, oh, I should have listened to him then. You know why you shouldn't have listened to him then? Because you weren't ready for it then. You're ready for it now. Your life has evolved over 2 years, and now you're into the meditation and everything else. You're just remembering, oh, he's very wise. He knew this 2 years ago. I'm ready for this now. I wasn't ready for it then. No, I
Mm.
should have listened to him then. You wouldn't have listened to him that any more than he's listening to you right now because he's not ready for it. And we all mature just because he's 18, we all mature at different ages, really, right? My husband said, I think I told you he's a psychologist. He said he didn't feel comfortable in what he was doing until he was probably 20 years in his practice. And he had all this experience in hospitals and here and there and everywhere. But it takes time to learn everything, to learn people, to read people, to apply the psychology to it. You don't come out of school knowing life, right? We have to experience life and learn as we go. And that's all your son is doing right now. You got married, you didn't know about being a housewife and a mother and this and that and the other. Kind of, hey, how do you cook this? I didn't know how to cook. Everything came out of a can with me in the beginning. Everything came out of a can. I can laugh about it now, but it was like, how did we eat that stuff? It was canned potatoes, canned everything. It was horrible. Now I wouldn't dream of doing food like that, but it was all I knew to do at the time. Nobody taught me to cook, and it was all good. It's all good. So I hope you got something out of this evening and it was helpful for you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for your personal time. I was like
You're
somehow lucky because
listen,
individual.
it was meant to be. And if you do implement that with your son, I'd love to know how he responds to that. You can just send me a text message and say, I invited him and he said, no, go away. Or he said, yeah, I'm open to that. Let's try it. And he's going to choose the day and time. Now, you don't know what the psychiatrist opening is going to be, but give him the feeling that he is in control of his life by giving him
Do
that choice.
do you know that have I can take appointments only if my physician refers, or I can
Now,
directly take?
I don't know what kind of insurance you'd have to look at the insurance you have and see if you need a referral for that or not.
I have Cigna
Yeah,
from my office.
I don't know. You can go online and with Cigna, I have Aetna, and I go online and I can see if it's in my network. I mean, I go to doctors. I don't wait for my primary to give me a referral. I made my own appointments for doctors because I don't feel she's so in touch with my life. So I just find if it's on Aetna, if it's in network, I do it. You might want to look up Cigna or contact Cigna and ask them. Those chat bot things. Sometimes you
Does your husband gives online
know, he's a psychologist, not a psychiatrist. He refers patients to see a psychiatrist for an evaluation and medication because the psychiatrist is the only one that can prescribe medication. And if it turns out your son is experiencing depression, they will put him on a medication, and it may have to be adjusted until it's the right balance for him. Sometimes the dosage might be too low, sometimes too high, and he'll feel weird. I know with my son was on some medications. He was like, "Oh, I hate this. I feel so out of it." So we went back to the doctor. The doctor changed him to something else because every medication interacts differently in everybody's body, right? So it may be if it comes to that, it may be a little bit of trial and error in the beginning, and you may not be suffering from it, but you have to rule it out. At least have it evaluated by the proper kind of doctor, and the psychiatrist is the one to do that.
Yeah, I will figure it out. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to
Yeah,
be part of your life
certainly.
tonight. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
All
great
right.
night.
You too. Bye now.
Bye.